What's up, everybody? Jason from Jason's Exotic Reptiles. It's another episode here. It's been a while, but I'm back at you. Today, I'm going to do something I've never done before, but I am going to talk about blood boas specifically because it's Valentine's Day. I thought it would be cool to do a coupon code as well. I just figured out how to do that on my website, so we're going to take a look at a whole bunch of different blood boas. I'm going to put a 10% off coupon code for any blood boa on my website. It'll apply. You can just type it right in when you check out, and you should take 10% right off. And let's dive into the video. First up, before we get into it, let's take a look at this beautiful blood boa girl. She was a breeder last year. She's about 6 years old now. And blood boas in general, they have this awesome iridescence that I don't know if the camera's picking up or not. This is a pretty dark version of a blood boa. I have some lighter versions, and we're gonna take a look at a whole bunch of different stuff. We'll look at some blood boa combos and just kind of everything in between. Why I think blood boas are special is what we're going to talk about as well. Let's start off by just taking a good look at her, and I'll tell you why I think blood boas are special in general. So she's got these beautiful red sides. They're generally a smaller growing species of boa. That's mainly because where they came from. Blood originated in South America, the Salvadorian boas, and then it was Ecuador, I believe, and it was mixed in with a whole bunch of different stuff. I am definitely not the genetics expert or the locality expert, but it is a smaller growing dwarf species of boa. Now, that doesn't apply to all blood boas, but in general, blood will have that dwarf genetic mixed in. So this girl here, she is actually a hypo blood, and she's just, an awesome example. I'm going to show you some babies that we have available, especially going with that coupon code. Just right now, I'll give it to you. It is V-Day 2022. I'm going to put that up on the screen. V-Day 2022. You'll see it on the screen. Type that in at checkout. 10% off any blood boa on the website, which can add up to something pretty good depending on what you're looking at, or it can at least give you some free shipping on some of the cheaper ones in the $500 range. So this girl, she's got super dark saddles, very, very dark version, and I want to show you different combos, but why I think they're special is, one, they're somewhat underrated. So where the market is going, and I've said this to people who have talked to me, where the boa market is going, right here, because nobody's working with this stuff. I shouldn't say nobody, very few people are working with this stuff. When everybody's chasing IMG and Labyrinth and all this other crazy stuff, they're chasing that. I don't want it. I'm not chasing. I'm doing my own path, and I really feel strongly that when they're all done with the IMGs and the Labyrinths and all that, blood boas are what you're going to need to mix into it. So why not get started on that right now? Anybody who knows me knows that I have tons of blood boas in my collection, and I have a ton of raise-ups still coming. Every year I produce them, every year I hold stuff back, and my collection and my just diversity of bloods has been continuing to grow. I tend to stay true to the core roots of the boas. I don't really like mixing 3, 4, 5 genes into a snake unless it has a purpose, and I think blood boas are a perfect example of that. Imagine taking a beautiful VPI boa and mixing it with blood. Those two double recessives are going to make just this incredible boa. Imagine a sharp and a blood. Incredible stuff that's been made. All this stuff has been made at this point, but people are staying focused on things like IMG and Labyrinth and Scoria and all this other stuff that they're all gravitating towards. In the background, I'm getting all my blood stuff ready so that when you guys are all done with your IMG stuff, I'm going to have it in combos with bloods, and you guys are going to be flocking towards that. So I recommend get on the blood train early. It's getting overlooked right now, and that's the only reason why I'm pushing this stuff out. My blood stuff sells fantastic, so I produce a bunch every year. It sells out every year, so I'm not worried about that. This is more my tip to you guys on how to get ahead of the market, which is invest in blood. If you're looking to get into something that is going to be mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff, get into the blood stuff. So let's take a look at some other combinations that I have. This girl here is actually the sister of the one we just looked at. And if you look back at my videos, I did a video, I think it was on, what to look for in investment quality boas and kind of what sparks your interest. And I compared this boa with the other one in that video. I'm pretty positive it was this two pair. So this is the sister of them. You can see the variability. This one's lighter. This one may even have some jungle in her. I've never bred her yet, so we'll see what pops out. But I do think that the jungle tends to lighten up the blood boas, which is interesting if that's the trait you're trying to bring out. So again, these are not something that's gonna give you that wow factor like a Motley would or like an Aztec, something that's the immediate wow. It's something that if you add to a Motley, if you add it to an Aztec, if you add it to the VPI, it's gonna bring that boa to the whole different new level. By themselves, I love them, which is why I have them. They're awesome. And I'll look at another normal blood. I don't want to bother her because she's pregnant right now and she should be laying babies in the next month or two. So I don't really want to bug her too much, but maybe I'll take the camera out, we'll take a look at her. But I wanted to show this girl off. The camera will never pick up how she looks, but she's just absolutely probably one of my favorite blood boas. I'm gonna get out of the frame so it focuses in on her, but her head is just kind of like purplish, pinkish hues, just a really beautiful snake. So I really like this girl. Let's take a look at some of my smaller ones, some other bloods that I have, and some raise up projects I got going on. This girl right here, this guy is a Paraglow, maybe just a Paradigm, but it's a Paraglow or Paradigm blood, and it's also Key West. So he is in full shed right now. It's a shame because this guy just totally glows, and the cameras will never pick up the right colors for this. You hear my alarms, my thermostat. For some reason, that thing is going bad. It just keeps beeping in the background. Had to silence that for a second there. But this girl, this guy is a Paraglow or Paradigm blood. So this is, and also Key West. So this is a Paradigm, which I need to do a whole in-depth video on, is essentially a het sharp and a het boa woman caramel. So boa woman caramel, also known as caramel T-positive albino, mixed with a sharp albino will make double hets. Those double hets make a visual animal. It just makes this somewhat of a visual. So you have two hets working together, kind of like Hypo Motley. Again, I'm not the genetic expert. You can't ask me genetic questions. I know how to breed stuff. I enjoy them, and I don't really geek out on the genetics too much or even the locality stuff. It's just whatever I like. I do this for fun. So this girl or this guy, I gotta stop calling it a girl. He's not gonna breed for me. We'll just kind of zoom in, take a good look. It's a blood, but it's got this really frosted, just awesome look to it that just gives it a glow. And again, he's in shed. I really wish he wasn't because he's such a beautiful snake. But I mean, come on, how is this not the future of boas? And see if, man, this camera's just not helping me out at all. But what a beautiful snake. There we go. The tail. I mean, the tail's showing. There's so many different potentials that's untapped onto this. Blood leopard, things like that. Take a snake, put some red into it, and you got a blood. Amazing stuff, which is why I thought it was suiting for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is red, so aren't bloods. Let's keep going. This girl's fired up. She's a Hypo Key West blood, and she wants to eat my face. So let's get this quick. I'll put her in the frame. Beautiful, beautiful snake. Not happy. She never likes me, but I don't know if you can see the colors and the patterns on the side of this girl. Absolutely beautiful snake. And even though she's cranky and she wants to bite my face, I'm okay with that because I really like her. She's just like one of the most gorgeous snakes I've ever seen. And the problem with blood is the cameras don't tend to pick them up, especially iPhone cameras. People ask me all the time, can you give me a new picture based on what they see on the website when they're trying to buy? And I always hate doing that because I'm going to take it with my iPhone. The iPhone just pulls all the saturation out of this. And I really try to upload the best, most representative pictures possible to the stuff on the website. But we'll take one more look at this girl. She's just nervous. I pulled her out, but she's a cool thing. Come on, look at how cute that is. And she's got an awesome, her whole face is just red. Get out of the camera again. Hopefully you can see it. So she's pretty cool. A Hypo Key West blood that's also 66% het. 66%, I think I felt that. 66% Paradigm, which is, either 66% Paradigm means she's 66% possible sharp or possible boa woman caramel. Again, I'm gonna do a whole video on that. I don't wanna dive into it. I don't wanna confuse you, but I need to do a video on that. So let's see what's next. Next up is a Burke T-positive blood. I think they call these El Diablos. I don't know. Again, I'm not up on the morph names. I call it a blood that is also Burke T-positive albino. You can see that really in their tail. So these guys just want to kill my face. Like every video, I promise you, I don't do this on purpose. This isn't staged. I don't want to get bit. We'll see if I get tagged by the end of the video or if I don't. So right now, she's focused in on my head. This could be a handling video on how to not get bit. I should turn it into that instead. But her belly is this awesome orange color. And I mean, what's not to love about a snake like this? I'm going to get out of the view again so you can see that tail. And it's just purple and lavender and blue. It's just an amazing looking boa in general. and she is fired up. She wants to kill me. So this girl's about 2 years old, and she was I think a 2020 or maybe a 2019. I'd have to look at her tag. Now she wants to eat the camera, but just a beautiful, beautiful snake. I'm going to show you a version of this when you throw Hypo into it now. This is the sister of the one we just took a look at, and I believe it's the same thing, but throw Hypo into it. So this is a Hypo blood T-positive albino. She got the mic. It just further reduces the pattern, and like, again, imagine throwing a leopard into this. I mean, just a motley, anything like that you can imagine. Imagine throwing IMG into this. How awesome is that going to be? Because you're still going to get the melanin that you would get from an IMG, but it's going to be faded and reduced, turned into a purple. Come on, it's silly looking. So I'm going to get out of the way again so you guys can look if she doesn't hit me in the face before then. I mean, that's just a ridiculous looking boa. I'm going to show you another one from this same litter. Any of you who've watched my videos in the past, or maybe who've seen some of these videos with the bloods in it, my favorite snake videos, knows that this is certainly one of them. This is actually from the same litter. I feed them the same. I don't power feed this girl. She just tends to be growing much faster, so she's getting larger prey items. And I mean, she's probably pushing 4 feet right now. She is a couple years old, so she's, 2.5 years old. She's right on track or where she should be. But she, I believe, is the same thing as what we just looked at, but with a super Hypo into the mix. So this is a super Hypo T-positive blood, Burke line T-positive, different than VPI, different than Boa Woman Caramel or all the other lines out there. Tail, super nice looking tail. She sheds clear, beautiful, just absolutely incredible snake, and she's just like this brilliant orange color. The camera will never pick this girl up. Her nose rub, if you guys have been following this snake, it is almost gone. Again, I'll get my face out of the picture so we can check out her face. It's almost gone. She's still got a little bit, one more shed or so, and she'll be perfect again. One of my favorite snakes. I really enjoy this girl, and it goes to show you they're not all trying to kill me. It's just the little babies. I just woke them up, pulled them out, and there they are. So another awesome snake. Let's look at some babies that I have going on. A lot of what I have right now is in shed. We're going to look at some smaller babies, and I think that they will not be in shed, but this is a Hypo blood possible jungle, and she is also in shed, but she's one of my holdbacks from this year. So she's a 2020 or 2021. Really beautiful saddles on this girl. She's got little freckles of black on her tail, and the jungle, again, I think the jungle tends to do something different in some bloods, maybe at least just the jungle line that I have. It does still break the head spear a little bit, and it does throw that vertical striping down the side, but it doesn't make that apparent pattern on them. It does do some blockiness on the saddles towards the back. Beautiful snake. I want to show off some more babies because these are the ones that you guys might be looking at if you're looking at the website. This is a male Hypo blood jungle. Absolutely beautiful animal. This guy is available on the website, and we'll take a really close look at him too, so you can just get a better peek. I believe he's also 50% het sharp, or might be 100% het sharp. I don't always label my bins the same as it is on the website. I put an abbreviation on my bin with the numbers, but you can see behind me, these are the old Freedom Breeder racks. Jesse from Freedom Breeder, if you're watching, I mean, come on, I'm gonna use this as the backdrop instead of the new ones until I get some new Freedom Breeders in here. So let's take a look. This guy, again, he's in shed. All these boas are in shed right now because they're eating and they're thriving, and just trying to keep them ready for you guys when you receive them. Everything's on frozen thawed, so you don't need to worry about that. They will take live if you prefer live, but I prefer frozen thawed. It's safer, easier, and cheaper for me to get. I mean, let's see if we can get a good view of the sides. It's just, come on, I mean, look at the sides on this thing. I wish the camera could focus in a little bit more. A little bit better. If I pull it in too close, it distorts the color, but you can really see just the pattern on these guys, and the head is really cool on this specific one. It's the jungle that's making that happen. See if I can force to see the head. Something like that. The head's really, really cool on this boa. I'm going to show you some more. Here is a female Hypo blood possible jungle, and she is just absolutely incredible. I mean, check out the pictures I put on my website. I tried to put representative photos of them, but I mean, they're just not going to pick it up. They're just such incredible looking snakes. And the colors on this one here, especially towards the tail, I think she's going to look kind of similar to that second boa that I showed in the video, but I mean, look at the colors on that thing. The tail is just ridiculous, and the camera right now, for some reason, it looks to be oversaturating, but it's definitely, I mean, it's orange and red and just awesome looking pattern in general. So really cool stuff. See if I can get these, because I just checked that out. It's pretty wild looking. I mean, what an incredible looking snake. So again, imagine adding this into other projects. I think that's how you got to look at it, is the future of boas in general is not chasing the crowd. If everybody's going towards one thing, that you are as well, and by the time you have your stuff raised up, so won't everybody else. And the market's going to be flooded, and it's a poor investment if that's how you're looking to do this. I always buy things for what I like. So if you want to buy that IMG or the Labyrinth or whatever it is, I'm going to buy Labyrinth soon. I'm waiting for the price to crash because I think it's going to happen. Not knocking the breeders who have it, but I think too many people are getting into it and have gone into it, and it's too easy to just take that one snake and just breed it to really anything you have, and you just make this mudded up mess. Nobody's focusing on quality anymore. I tried really hard, specifically with my blood stuff. It's a passion of mine to just really bring out the quality and focus on just bringing out the best traits that I saw possible in blood. So for instance, this specific snake here and that tail pattern, that's what I'm trying to bring out. If I were to buy this snake, or if I were to hold this snake back, this is the pattern and the trait that I'm trying to bring, is this just in general kind of, I guess you could call it the Marion gene, I think it is, that Marion type of glow to it. Just a gorgeous animal. Let's look at some more. This is a great comparison of boas. I mean, these are two almost polar opposite looking snakes. You have one that's super red, and then one that's almost this pale, grayish tone, almost anathoristic looking. I'm gonna get out of the camera again so you guys can actually see the snakes. But these are both bloods. This one actually is jungle, and this one is not. But I mean, depending on what you're going for, you could go in so many different directions with this snake. If you're gonna throw anathoristic into it, go for this type of thing. If you're gonna go with a leopard, I mean, you could even bring out the leopard into something like that. It just, so many different ways that you could bring these snakes, and you can see the variability. These were both from the same mom, both from the same thing, and it's, you know, they're just beautiful, awesome looking stuff. I mean, it really is incredible, the diversity that you'll get in one litter of blood stuff. So I like it, and again, it depends on which way you're gonna go. This one, it's almost anathoristic looking. I'm tempted to say it's a pewter, but its eyes aren't right. And this guy right here, and it would have been the only one in the litter, and there was no anery in there, so there shouldn't be, but totally different colors from two different bloods. Huge diversity within one snake that you can really pull in any direction you want, depending on what you want to go with. So let's look at a couple more. Let's take a look at this guy and we'll see where we go from here. So this is a Hypo Blood Jungle. This one is also available on the website. It is female. You can see it's got a super cool stripy tail, has that typical jungle pattern that you would expect. The eyes on the Jungle Bloods are really, I think, the telltale trait. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it, but let's see if I can get this thing to just focus in on the eyes. Probably not. Got my finger. Yeah, you can kind of see. So the eyes and the head, that's really what the jungle shows, in my opinion, on the bloods. The eyes on a jungle Hypo blood, they tend to be like a grayish color. The blood's eyes in general are going to be solid. People called me out for calling them black. They're black. They're black enough. They're not black like my sweatshirt, but they're black. But the eyes on the jungle bloods tend to be more of this grayish color, kind of like the color of my hat versus the color of my sweatshirt. Really cool looking snakes, solid looking, beautiful stuff. So let's, these guys, they want to kill me today. So let's see where we go from here. I'll pull out one more and then we'll wrap the video up. Again, don't forget that coupon code. It's at the front of the video if you missed it, and I will also put it when this video wraps up so you can see it. We will close the video out with this guy right here. This is a Hypo blood that is het sharp albino. He's breeding with a Hypo jungle that is het blood, het sharp at the moment. So he's got some urates on him because they've been going at it. And hopefully we'll get some sharp albino bloods this year, which I will probably keep because I want to make them for myself. But really cool projects. Don't forget about your hets. That's how I got most of my stuff started, is by buying hets. I couldn't afford the most expensive stuff. And honestly, I didn't really care. I wasn't chasing anybody. I was just doing my own thing. That's what I always recommend from a business standpoint. And when you're buying boas, do what you like and you'll never go wrong, because if you're passionate about it, somebody else is too. So with all that said, let's take one more quick look at this guy. He's awesome. He's a 2017 male. and really, really beautiful snake. He's been in there breeding. Hopefully we'll get some babies from him this year. He's actually a salmon blood, so a little bit different than Hypo. In my opinion, it's about the same, just a different line. With all that said, I appreciate you guys watching and checking out this video. Give me some comments on some video topics you guys want to see. I think you generally have been commenting that you want to see more variety in the snakes. You want to see me show you different stuff. I'm going to focus on that on the next upcoming videos. And let's see how this coupon code thing works. If I like it, I may start doing more of these. But for right now, it's going to be just for the blood boa section of the website. Again, it's on the front of the screen right now with the coupon code. I appreciate you guys. It's going to run until Valentine's Day. So up until that day is when this code applies. After that, you just missed out. It will not apply anymore because I anticipate selling quite a few and I don't want to sell them all at a discounted rate. So until next week or until next time, guys, I appreciate you watching, following, subscribing, and we'll keep it moving.